Hey guys, Risen here. Um, this is just a deck profile amongst many that I'm going to be bringing you guys um, during this time of everybody being stuck at home for good reasons, obviously. But going to try to bring you guys some content. Jeez, if I could talk, because I got a lot of free time. So this is another deck that I've built recently for you guys. It's only missing one card. It's missing Corobane. Just to tell you guys, start of the video, I'll tell you what I'm going through the card I'd replace for it. It's just a lot of money, and currently spending money isn't something I'm doing right now as much of, so unless I have to. Alright guys, without further ado, this is my pure Trickstar deck. The extra deck isn't a full 15 either. I'm just going to show you guys what I have for it. But to start out, we have 3 Candina, your searcher, does 200 damage to your opponent each time they activate a spell or trap. 3 Lycoris, that does 200 to your opponent each time they add a card from deck to hand. And you can bounce a Trickstar to Special Summoner, so usually you'll summon Candina to search this first, if you don't already have it, and then bounce it back to hand so you can use it to search the next turn. And you can also use a bounce effect in the battle phase, which is cool to get more damage. 2 Lilybell in this build instead of 1 because you want to be able to recur your resources. She can attack directly, and then when she does, you can add a Trickstar from your grave to hand. And then if she's added to hand, she can get special summons. Like if Candina searches her, you can special summon her. If Lycoris bounces her, you can special summon her, but you can only do it once per turn. And then I have 1 Trickstar, Narcissus. Really good card. Whenever, let me make sure I say it right to you guys. Yeah, whenever your opponent takes effect damage, you can special them from your hand, and then once per turn, each time they activate a monster effect in their hand or grave, you inflict 200. So it's an easy special summon. It does a lot of damage to your opponent. That's it for the Trickstars. This next card is what I take out for the Corobane. I have 3 Honest. It's just the next best thing. But yes, if you guys have Trickstar Corobane, I'd play 3 of it in this build because it is a pure build. It has the same effect as Honest. It's just a Trickstar level 5. It has 2,000 attack, and if you control no monsters or just Trickstars, you can special summon it, which is really cool. Alright guys, on to the spells. Sadly, the 1 light stage, if it's activated, you can add a Trickstar card from deck to hand, and then you can select a spell or trap your opponent controls. Can't be activated at the end of the turn, they send it to grave if they can't activate it then. And then also, whenever your opponent takes damage by a Trickstar effect, it does 200, so it helps your Trickstar's damage start piling up on your opponent, which is cool. 1 life stage. Once activated, you add a Trickstar from your grave to hand, which is cool. And then if your opponent controls spell or traps, or let's see, if you control a Trickstar Link monster, you could special summon 1 Trickstar token. Either or effect you can use, which is really cool. Helps you Link climb. 1 Terraforming to search it. So you basically have another light stage pretty much because you want to see that card. Now you play 3 cards from the sky. Most people don't run this card. I love it in this deck because it's more of a control deck. You really don't special summon unless you're trying to use your Lycoris, which even then you can save her effect for your opponent's turn to get your Candina off board. So this banishes a light fairy type. You draw 2 cards. You have to banish it from your hand. And then the turn you activate that card, you can't special summon or attack. So it kind of helps you get into the cards you need to set up. 3 Potted Body because you really don't special summon in this build just to get through all your cards, get the cards you need. 2 Desires. I really don't want to have to use Desires because you don't want to banish your light stage. You do run some 1-ofs, but it is more consistency because, like I said, this deck needs to be able to get to the cards it needs, like light stage, a lot of its damage cards. This is a damage-focused build, effect damage, which is really cool. We run 3 Dark Room and Nightmare. It's what replaces your light stage, pretty much. Each time your opponent takes effect damage, it does 300 damage to them. So, like, let's say you have this light stage and, like, Lycoris or whatever. It's great. You can deal 200 off Lycoris effect, 200 off the light stage, and 300 off the Dark Room, so it really starts adding up. 3 Cauldron of the Old Man. It's a newer card. During each standby phase, you can put, or each of your standby phases, you put a counter on them, and then you can either gain 500 life points or deal 300 life points equal to them or counters. So it starts adding up, especially if you have Dark Room and Nightmare out, and then on top of the Trickstar effects, really good. And then a really old card, I play 3 Solidarity, because it is a pure build, all you're playing are fairies, so it gives them plus 800. So part of Trickstar's effect, like hard times, is the fact that they can't get over things in battle, so, or beat over big monsters. So this gives them plus 800, and if you let's say you have 2 copies or even 3 copies out, it gives them all 800 times the number of copies. So let's say you had 2 Solidarities out, your Lycoris is gaining 1600 attack, so really good. Makes all your small monsters that your opponent wants to get off the board because they deal damage really big monsters. Then we have 3 Forbidden Chalice. I was running Fiendish Chain, but you run a lot of continuous cards in this deck, so you really don't want to like fill up all of your spell and trap card zones. This is really good though. You can use it offensively too. Negate your own monster's effect and give it plus 400 until the end of the turn, so good card. And then my last card is just one Trickstar Fusion. You don't normally special summon, but this does get you into the fusion, which is pretty good. And if you can banish it from your grave that turn and add what you used, one of the Trickstars you use back to hand, so it helps you recur. Yeah, a lot of spells in the deck, though. Onto the traps, we play 3 Seas Fire, does 500 damage to your opponent for each effect monster they control. If they control face down monster, you flip the face up. Their effects aren't activated. And then 1 Ring Instruction. With the nerf, the card isn't as good. Your opponent, the damage that your opponent would take has to be less than the total life they have, and only does the original amount. And you can only select your opponent's cards. You can't select your own. But it's still good. It still gets the job done. It can get rid of a problem card, deal some damage. That's it for the deck, guys. 40 cards. On to the extra. Small number because I'm playing Solidarity. We play 1 Holly Angel, 1 Cat Bat, and 1 Crimson Heart for your Link 2s. These are all really cool. Your Holly Angel, each time you normally special summon a Trickstar to a zone it points to, it deals 200. Each time your opponent loses life points to a Trickstar effect, she gains that in attack. And then the Trickstar monsters that are in a zone she points to came with Struggle Battle card effects. So this is like your best Link 2. Cat Battle, I'll have to make sure I read correctly. Each time a monster's card points to Struggle Battle card effects, sent to the grave, inflict 200 damage to your opponent. And then each time your opponent takes damage, you go to a Trickstar effect. Monsters they control lose 200. So it can be beat over big cards. And then Crimson Heart, which is really cool. Each time a Trickstar monster normal special summon to a zone, you gain 200 life points. And then you can discard a Trickstar card. Both players draw 1 card. If you had 2,000 or more life points than your opponent, you draw 2 cards, which is really good. So I typically use like Holly Angel and Crimson Heart the most. And then for your Link 3, I play Trickstar Foxglove, which, if it's special summon, you inflict 200 damage for each card they control. And then if it's struck by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower Trickstar monster from the deck. And then I think it's the same effect. Yeah, from the extra deck. And then you inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each card they control as well, which is really cool. It's like, if she dies, you can just go into any of these 3, which is really cool. And then she'll deal 200 damage for each card again. Probably the best one. And then this one I just recently added in Trickstar Bill of Madonna. It's really good when it's Link Summon, or while it's Link Summon. If it points to no monsters, it's unaffected by the cards or activated effects. And then if it points to no monster, you inflict 200 damage for each Trickstar card in your graveyard with a different name. So late in the duel, you can deal quite a bit of damage. And this is just like your big monster to sit on, especially with Solidarity. Like, this card gets really beefy really quick. And then the last monster is the Trickstar Band Sweet Guitar for the Fusion. It's really good. Any effect damage your opponent takes from a Trickstar Link monster that this card's linked to, it's doubled. If your opponent takes damage by a Trickstar monster's effect, it gains stack equal to the damage they took, and then after it attacks, it loses it. So it can get like really beefy, really quick, or deal a lot more damage to your opponent, which is what the whole deck's based on. But yeah, it's just in there for the Fusion. That's it for the extra deck, because I have to keep it strictly fairy so I can use Solidarity. So, that's the deck, guys. 40 cards, pure Trickstar deck. Like, comment, and subscribe. Give me your comments for the deck down below. I'm sorry I don't have Korribans. I actually don't have Reincarnations either. You could take out the Ceasefires and put in Reincarnation, because it works really well with Lycris, but that card's also expensive. So that's another one you can replace that I forgot about until now. You just play Reincarnation over the Ceasefires and Korriban over the Honest. But other than that, the deck works really well. I tested against my friend's Thunder Patrol deck and his Dark Magicians, and it's won pretty much every game it's played so far against it. But, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see ya.